make me feel obligated to
be attached to everything you do.
To everything that you do. And then you're not giving me the same support.
Right. That's why I'm like, you know what I mean? That's why I'm like, that's where it comes into an issue. Because it's like, if you're doing everything they like, but we're compromising and they getting that, that's a friction, I feel like.
I can see that for sure. I can see that being a friction, but I feel like that's why both parties have to compromise, and it can't just be one person making all those compromises.
I think that's why we young and we should just technically date. We shouldn't really settle down because don't nobody know what they genuinely want for real. Well, they know what they want, but every day changes and something new might come up. You get what I'm saying?
You say that we're young.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm young.
I'm young too.
I'm 21.
Young, but we are all at the age where...
You remember what happened last time I was 21 with them no motherfucking pennies on?
I ain't old.
You got 23. Why is you only know 23?
But anyway, we all at the age where we know what we want and where we want to go in the next few years. Like, and the people that we're dating, like, or not necessarily dating, are the people that we want to talk to. Like, I feel like we all voice our opinions when we're talking to somebody. Like, this is what I do. This is what I want. This is where I want to go. Come on.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, to touch back on that, I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like I have an idea of the things that I don't want. That's what my relationship taught me, is the things that I don't want. And I feel like I don't feel like other people taught me what I want out of a relationship, but my friendships have taught me things that I want that's important to me that I didn't know that was important to me. Right, that was needed for exactly. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that I needed those things until I obtained those friendships. And even still, with that being said, I still don't feel like I know everything about me, but I don't want to feel like that should stop me from trying to date, even though it's kind of fresh. I've been out of that relationship for a little while now, but I continue to like deal with them because I wanted to like try to make that relationship work, because I didn't want to waste all of those years and all that time. And then I think what really bothers me about it is a conversation that I actually just had with somebody the other day about. It bothers me to know that all of that time and energy and all of the hard work that I put into that they fucked up with me. They messed up with me, I'm sorry. But they're going to go be better for somebody else.
That's the hard thing.
From the time that we had together. And I guess I have to accept that. I have to be okay with that. I feel like, yeah, because I feel like that'll hinder me from...
do we really?
No, not for them.
Because I feel like...
I have to accept that in order for me to move on. Because it's the same and vice versa. Because
flat 3
you
times.
messed up with me. And that's something that I'm sure that he'll have to live with too, that I messed up with him, and I know, I'm not going to say that I was perfect and that I didn't make mistakes and I didn't have all flaws. I would like to think so, but I'm going to be better for somebody else too. And in order for me to move on and continue to keep going, I feel like that is something that I have to accept, that he is going to go off and be better for somebody else. And even though it's not me, like, if I don't let that go, then it's literally going to hinder me, because I'm always going to be thinking about it. That'll be always something that will keep me to go back to that type of situation. Like, well, maybe it was something else that I could have did. Maybe it was something else that we could have done.
I feel like you shared the best post earlier, and it made the best sense.
Where you talking about Facebook?
Yes, where you shared that post where it's like, we keep trying with people because we don't want to lose. It ain't that we don't want to lose them.
Lose yourself.
It's losing yourself, because once you become so like this with a person, y'all like it's literally y'all taking 2 bodies and y'all smushing it and coming together as one.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? So that's literally, y'all are both equally that one person. So sometimes you have more of one person into a relationship than the other party, but the people I feel like that's more involved in a relationship are the ones that keep going back, that keep trying, that keep compromising, but at the same time we're losing a lot of ourselves. And it's like, I don't want to let all of you go because that's letting all of me go. And even though you're not the greatest, I still feel at peace and at my best when you're around. Sometimes.
I don't feel like I'm at my best.
No, because I know, because my whole chest was hurting kind of whole individual. But you be content because you know that's what you're used to. And that's what you codependent on them. Like, that's your crutch. That's your spiritual security crutch. That's really what it is. Like, it's so hard to kind of get out of that notion. But it is kind of, I don't know. I feel like we just keep like going back because we don't want to lose all of ourselves. Like, because that was a big part of us for so many years.
I honestly feel like when you keep going back, that's when you lose yourself.
Yeah, because you letting them say disrespect you more.
That was when it was okay for me to leave. Because, like, I went back and I allowed stuff to happen. And once I allowed stuff to happen, and then it, I don't let you fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't let you fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And now after I let you fuck up, you want to fuck up further.
Mm-hmm. You want to keep going deeper.
You want to keep going. You want to see how far you can push me. Mm-hmm. Now I have to let you go.
Right.
Like you brought me out of my character.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to let you go. Like, regardless of how bad it's gonna hurt me, regardless of how bad it's gonna hurt you, I have to let you go. Like,
I definitely agree with that.
Like, I have to let you go. Like,
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Like,
that's the hard part, though.
That it wasn't like it's more like, you know, as many times as people go back, thank goodness
that you learn.
Yeah. Because like, I probably would have been locked up.
Do y'all think Zodiac plays a part in our shit like that though?
I feel like only Zodiacs play only a small percentage.
Okay.
But because most of your personality doesn't come from your Zodiac sign, it comes
but it comes from you, but it also comes from the sun that you're born under. I kind of can't help.
I get that.
I
can see that, but that's why I said I feel like it's only just a percentage. Because again, I feel like my Zodiac doesn't dictate the way that I move. I feel like my life experiences and the way that I grew up is how I moved. And then even with relationships, a conversation that we had not too long ago was about seeing healthy relationships when you were growing up.
Right.
Like, have you ever
that video will be dropping real soon too.
Yeah, like, have you ever seen a healthy relationship? Did your parents teach you about relationships, and not just healthy, romantic relationships,
just
but
friendships,
just healthy relationships, friendships, how to maintain them. Yeah, how to maintain relationships. What's healthy, what's not healthy, what's toxic. And a lot of times I don't feel like I don't know about all parents, but I feel like a lot of black families, they don't have those conversations. Mm-hmm. Not the old age anyway, because their parents probably never talked to them. And then a lot of people never seen, two-parent homes and things of that sort. A lot of,
not two-parent same-sex homes too.
Definitely not same-sex homes. I'm sure.
We crossing a major milestone right now.
Right. And I also feel like that's something that should be a conversation to come also. But we can save that for another time.
That's a whole other topic, right? Because that's a discussion I really want to get into.
But I feel like a lot of people get into relationships and they don't even know how to have healthy relationships because they've never seen healthy relationships. So you just going off of expectation of what you think you're supposed to be doing and how you think the relationship is supposed to go, when really it's probably wrong. Your whole idea of what you thought it was probably wrong.
I just feel like a lot of that comes from mental health too.
Definitely.
It's just like
that. That's a damn good discussion.
A lot of people have grown up in broken homes and seeing single parent relationships, and they turn out to be completely fine. Like, I won't say completely fine.
Ain't nobody completely fine out here.
I won't say completely fine.
But you don't know what's going on in the motherfucking mind, what they do behind closed doors.
Somebody's mind, like. But certain things like that, it also triggers people to, like, that's not what I want. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to deal with what my mom dealt with, or I don't want to deal with what my dad dealt with, or my aunt. Like,
or I don't want to be like them.
Yeah, I don't want to be in that situation, so I'm going to do everything to avoid that situation. Ooh. But that causes problems too.
Absolutely.
Like, it causes problems too. Like, other people who come from perfect surroundings, or it's like, this is what I'm used to. This is the way it's supposed to be.
Have some crazy
like,
issues
that
they
the way it's supposed to be, but it's like, no, it ain't, girl. You gotta go out to eat every
You're so
day.
damn beautiful. Sorry, go ahead, keep going.
Period.
Oh, I just be in love, bro. I'm over here looking at the whole structure in the face. He just so goddamn beautiful. Sorry, keep going though, baby. I'm sorry.
But like, we ain't gotta go like on date night every week.
Right.
We ain't gotta do this and we gotta do that. Let's do what it's supposed to be for what it's supposed to be for us at the moment. Like if you're meant to be together, you're meant to be together. Like,
you know, that also makes me feel like on another to bounce off of that, like how everything is so traditional. People get all these expectations about how traditional marriage is supposed to be and all of this other stuff, when really I feel like you're supposed to do what really works best for you. I feel like a lot of people get into relationships and have all of these expectations about how their relationship is supposed to be, when really nothing has to be traditional. Who made this up? Who told you that this was the standard?
Because everybody wants to be married. I think that should be a topic real quick that we should touch real quick. Because marriage, I feel, like I said in the beginning of this video, I believe that marriage is something very sacred. Like, I know I was a person that, well, before same-sex marriage was legalized, me and, you know, that individual, we had already spiritually jumped the broom. So I did consider myself married. Like we looked at it like, boom, back in the days when slaves, they didn't have papers. They didn't have that. They had spiritual ceremonies and things of that sort where, you know what I'm saying? So we looked at it like that before
like
the same sex. We didn't need that was back then.
That was your person, yeah.
But I feel like that's a good topic we should talk about with marriage and stuff. I feel like certain people, we really should not take that route or take on those roles without actually being
doing that. Yeah, that's for sure. But you know, the reason why I felt the way that I felt as far as the marriage thing is, I just kind of felt like as much time as I put in, as much time in history that we had together, I never felt like I needed a piece of paper